Okay, so sometimes we might have a heavy mark in the floor. We made these with our roller when we were cross rolling our section and didn't get those out with the buffer. So whenever we have a mark in the floor, we want to be the least aggressive that we can in our methods until we get it removed or camouflaged. And always remember, with a repair, I don't need to get this board perfect. I just need to get it camouflaged enough where it looks natural. Because it might be that I've just got a big light spot here too, and this whole board is supposed to be this color. But if I can just reduce these lines and blend these up with here, reduce this dark mark through here, through this piece of grain, it might look completely normal for half this board to be a little lighter, half to be a little darker. So we're gonna start first with the dry rag. And I also see that I've got a few just heavy swirls from our application. So this has been since yesterday, but I can take my dry rag and take those wet swirls out just by rubbing them a little bit. So if you've got just some swirls or something that you missed, whether with a dry rag, so you can see the little color came off, dry rag or a damp rag, we can take those swirls out. But since this has been yesterday, and it's also a lot easier to do if this was fresh. So if we just got done doing chroma in the house, we came back, we were walking everything, we noticed something like this, it would be a lot easier to move color with my dry rag or my damp rag when it was fresh. So I can try a little bit with this, and you want to use fingertip pressure, and I really want to try to just stay over where it's heavy, you know, so that I'm blending that up. And I'm taking a little bit off, but I'm gonna have to work pretty hard at this to erase those marks. Maybe this one, since this is only one piece of grain, I can erase this one a little easier and blend that out. That seems to be working pretty well. And then you can always use a damp rag to wipe it over the top to kind of judge how well did I move that color or camouflage that mark, so that when I do put my sealer finish over the top, what is actually going to show through. But this one is being a little more stubborn, and it's a little more pronounced going across all three of those grain lines. So now I might take just my damp rag, and it'll help remove more color. The tough part here is just staying on the heavy mark, because if I'm putting pressure on it and I get over into the light area as well, it's going to take that color off there too. And always feathering. So I don't have to take this color back all the way to the board edge, but I do want to try to feather that mark in there. And then you might be able to even feather with your fingernail, even if I am going across a little bit onto my light area, and create almost a false grain line right there. You can take your dry rag, kind of dry everything off. But I think that's going to stick out. So if I continued, you know, with my dryer, my damp rag, trying to take this off, that's still going to show. So I think this mark would be something that I would actually sand back down and chase the grain with my sandpaper, add some more color, and then tamp off, but we'll do that in another section. We just wanted to show here, only using dry rags, damp rags, what can I do to try to, you know, minimize a heavy mark, blend that back in with the rest of the floor, so that when I go back and put sealer and finish on, it looks like a natural part of just that board and blends in with the rest of the floor instead of those heavy marks going across. So I think on this side, that is what I do, and I'd be done here. Again, checking with my damp rag. It's really difficult to see that line now. I know where it is, so I can see it, but even on that side, and I think that's gonna blend out enough when we go ahead and put our sealer and finish on to call that repair complete.